Kahit po maging batas itong panukala, tuloy pa rin ang ligaya ng mga political dynasty. Ika nga ng isang kanta na written by Rom Dongeto and performed by Buklod and later by Noel Cabangon. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, hindi matatapos itong gulo.
Mr. Speaker, I now move to recognize the Honorable Jose Manuel Tadeo Shell Diokno of Akbayan Party List for his interpellation.
The gentleman from the Akbayan Party List, Representative Jose Manuel Tadeo Chel I. Diokno. You are recognized, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Assalamualaikum. Would the distinguished sponsor, Representative Adyong, yield to some questions?
Definitely, Mr. Speaker. It will be an honor to exchange ideas with the great Dean of De La Salle University, now Congressman Diokno.
Thank you, distinguished sponsor. Let's begin with the second degree of affinity or consanguinity. Sa ilalim po ng House Bill 8389, ang prohibition sa political dynasties ay hanggang second degree lamang po, di po tama yun.
Tama po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Pasok ba ang mga tito at tita sa second degree of consanguinity or affinity?
Hindi po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, upon conferring with the technical working group.
Hindi sila covered. Ang mga pamangkin naman po,
Hindi rin po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
ang mga pinsang buo o first cousin.
Hindi rin po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
In other words, Mr. Sponsor, kahit may sa batas natin ang House Bill 8389, pwede pa rin tumakbo at manungkulan ang mga tito, tita, pamangkin at pinsang buo na kasabay ng kanilang kapamilya na incumbent elective official. Tama po ba?
Tama po yun, Mr. Speaker, base po sa ating current draft ng ating batas, proposed batas.
Pumunta naman po tayo sa mga bawal na political dynasty relationship at kung ano yung mga pwede. Under House Bill 8389, can members of the immediate family, meaning siblings, spouses, grandparents, and grandchildren, simultaneously hold positions at the national level?
Now, Mr. Speaker, under the current bill, Mr. Speaker, once you are part within the second degree of consanguinity and affinity, only one from that family is allowed, Mr. Speaker, to hold office in the national and in the local positions, Mr. Speaker.
So
Your
that
Honor.
would be the same answer for the provincial level, city, municipal level, and barangay.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, because the appreciation of the committee so far as the subdivision of local units, Mr. Speaker, is based on the way the 1991 local government code structured our local government, which is independent from one another and based on separate constituency, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, distinguished sponsor. So yan po ang bawal. Ang tanong naman po ngayon ay ano yung mga pwedeng mga dynasty relationships. Let's begin with a hypothetical question. Let's say po na si Sir ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Kung may sa batas natin itong House Bill 8389, pwede bang umupo ang kanyang anak bilang kongresista sa kanilang baluarte habang siya ay Pangulo?
Sa current po na position po natin, dahil inaalaw po natin yung pag-hold ng position po in different jurisdiction and locality, tama po. Kaya po ang presidente at meron pong tumakbo sa kanyang mga kaanak within second degree of consanguinity and affinity. Speaker,
Pwede po bang umupo ang kanyang pinsang buo bilang congressman sa kanilang baluarte habang siya ay Pangulo?
pwede pong tumakbo, Mr. Speaker, besto, pero yung paupo po, depende po yan sa pag-elect ng taong bayan po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Pwede pong tumakbo.
Pwede po bang hindi lang tumakbo at umupo ang asawa ng kanyang pinsang buo bilang party list representative habang siya ay Pangulo?
Kasi posible po na maupo kung ito po ay iboboto ng ating taong bayan at maluklok doon sa posisyon na iyon.
Pwede po bang umupo ang anak ng kanyang pinsang buo bilang party list representative habang siya ay Pangulo?
Sa party list representative, again, kailangan po natin pag-usapan kung ano pong magiging itsura ng ating Reform Party List Act. Pero sa ngayon po, Mr. Speaker, since silent po naman tayo dito, let us assume, Mr. Speaker, na wala po doon sa second degree of consanguinity and affinity ay maaari pong tumakbo at posible pong may luklok ng taong bayan kung ang taong bayan po ay nararapat na siya ang maging opisyal doon sa posisyon na iyon.
Pwede po bang umupo ang asawa ng kanyang pinsang buo bilang governor naman sa kanilang baluarte habang siya ay Pangulo?
Posible din po na tumakbo ang kanyang asawang pinsan ng kanyang
sorry.
asawa.
Hindi lang po tumakbo, umupo bilang
Posible po.
governor.
Kasi kaya kailangan po natin also, we have to, with all due respect to our good dean and our colleague Yasman Jokno, we have to also be very careful with the semantic that we use here because actual occupancy of an office is different from running. So tama po yung sinasabi niya, maaari pong tumakbo pero wala pong kasiguraduhan na ito ay mananalo, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, yung itinutukoy ko po yung actual occupancy, hindi po yung pagtakbo. Pwede po bang umupo actual occupancy ang kanyang pamangkin bilang Vice Governor sa kanyang baluarte habang siya ay Pangulo?
Hypothetically, Mr. Speaker, yes.
Again, same question. Pwede po bang umupo ang kanyang pamangkin bilang mayor sa kanilang baluarte habang siya ay Pangulo?
Hypothetically, Mr. Speaker, again, the answer is yes.
And your answer would be the same for a vice mayor na kanyang pamangkin din habang siya ay Pangulo?
For as long as the vice mayor and the mayor running are not within the second degree of consanguinity and affinity, so bawal po. Isa lang po yung maaaring tumakbo sa isang local government unit dahil ang iniiwasan po natin ay magkaroon ng konsentrasyon ng kapangyarihan ng pamilya sa isang locality, Mr. Speaker.
So ang Pangulo po, si Sir, pwedeng umupo yung kanyang anak bilang kongresista, pwedeng umupo yung kanyang pinsang buo bilang kongresista din, pwedeng umupo yung yung asawa ng kanyang pinsang buo bilang kongresista, pwede pa rin umupo ang kanyang asawa ng kanyang pinsang buo bilang governor, ang kanyang pamangkin bilang vice governor, ang kanyang isa pang pamangkin bilang mayor, at isa pang pamangkin bilang vice mayor. Paano naman po kung city councilor ang kanyang kamag-anak?
Mr.
Pwede
Speaker,
bang umupo ang kanyang pamangkin bilang city councilor sa kanilang baluarte habang siya ay Pangulo?
Mr. Speaker, tama po, pero ngayong nais ko lang pong kung mamarapatin po ng ating kagalang-galang na representante ng Akbayan Party List, ito po ay hindi lang po dinesisyonan ng komite, ng individual po na appreciation. Ito po yung may basihan po tayo kung bakit hindi natin kinikurtel yung kapangyarihan ng taong nang tumakbo base doon sa structured na division according to the 1991 Local Government Code. Ang sinasabi po natin dito ay kung meron po tayong prevention, restriction na dapat nating i-introduce sa batas na ito ay dapat reasonable siya at non-discriminatory siya. Ibig sabihin yung anti-political dynasty na ay target niya yung hindi concentration ng power. Pero yung pagtakbo at pagpanungkulan, Mr. Speaker, marami po tayong basihan kung bakit inaalo po natin yan. In the primary reason, if I may quote, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, hindi po ito Tagalog, babasahin ko na lang po in English. The primary reason is again the sovereignty of the people and the primacy of the right to vote. The justification is found in Article 10, Section 1, which states that the territorial and political subdivisions of the Republic of the Philippines are the provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays, and Section 2, which states that the territorial and political subdivision shall enjoy local autonomy. Mr. Speaker, meron din ho tayo, Mr. Speaker, alam na po ng Dean Jokno na ito kasi tinuturo naman po niya ito sa kanyang eskwelahan. Marami pong mga treaties and covenants ng political and civil rights po na hindi dapat i-curtail. Yung kapangyarihan ng tao o yung karapatan ng taong bumoto at ipaboto ang kanyang sarili ay dapat hindi ma-abridge. Walang batas dapat na po pwedeng mag-curtail doon sa karapatan ng taong ipresenta ang kanyang sarili para iboto ng kanyang mga constituents. In fact, Mr. Speaker, ang ating bansa ay Republican, Democratic, Republican. Ibig sabihin, ang binibigyang preferential right sa lahat ng karapatan, Mr. Speaker, in terms of hierarchy, is the right to suffrage, to vote and to be voted upon. In fact, meron pong specific na artikulo, itong Article 5 suffrage, doon po sa ating Constitution para mabigay linaw po yung karapatan ng tao na ipresenta ang kanyang sarili na para bumoto at may presenta ang kanyang sarili para ibotohan. Ang iniwasan po natin dito ay yung botohan siya na alongside with his mother, with his father, na very obvious naman po na iisa lang unit ang kanilang panunungkulan at po pwedeng matarnish o ma-weaken yung sinasabi po nating accountability dahil hindi naman po pwede mag-asawa si Mr. at saka si Mrs. ay Vice Mayor at Mayor at isang inuuwian, isang tinutulugan, isang kamang tinutulugan at maaari, Mr. Speaker, na mawala yung check and balances, ultimately mawala yung accountability and transparency na mawiwikin po niya yung sinasabi po nating Republican Democratic State. So pasensya na po kung medyo napahaba po yung aking explanation. Ito po yung basihan kung bakit po natin inaalaw as according to the 1991 Local Government Code 7160, yung subdivision po ng different localities with different constituencies ay inaalaw po natin na meron pong tumatakbo sa isang pamilya dahil hindi naman po ito nagkakaroon ng concentration ng power. Perhaps may supervision, pero there has no internal direct bureaucratic control within one family, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. That ang congressman, hindi niya kontrolado ang munisipyo. Ang munisipyo, hindi niya kontrolado ang munisipyo sa second district. Ang second district, hindi niya kontrolado ang presidente, ang senador, hindi niya kontrolado ang Kapitolyo, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, distinguished sponsor. Agree po ako na napakahalaga ng ating karapatang bumoto. In fact, that is the essence of our democracy. Pumunta naman po tayo sa Vice President. Again, hypothetical lang po ito. Let's say si Ma'am ang Vice President. Kung may sa batas ang House Bill 8389, pwede bang umupo ang kanyang kapatid bilang kongresista sa kanilang baluarte habang siya ay VP?
Kung ito po ay mananalo sa election, yun po, pwede rin ho siya tumakbo bilang kongresista ng kanilang baluarte.
Pwede po bang umupo ang kanyang pamangkin bilang kongresista sa kanilang baluarte din habang siya ay VP?
Basta magkaiba po yung kanilang kinalalagyan, ay maaari po siyang tumakbo. At posible pong manalo, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor.
Pati po yung isang pinsan ng Vice President na nanalong bilang party list congressperson ay pwede rin maupo habang siya ay Vice President.
Kung titingnan po natin yung definition according sa section, kung mamarapatin po ng aking kagalang-galang, doon po sa definition, in-include na po natin ang definition natin sa national offices, ang Presidente, Senador at Vice President. Ibig sabihin, isa lang po doon po sa qualification na iyon. So kung patatapos po natin ng kung papayag po ang ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan dito, kung mamarapatin po niya na maisali din natin as national, no? Kasi under ngayon sa NBank resolution ng COMELEC, ang party list is national office ata eh. Kung mamarapatin niyang maisali doon, ay mukhang isa lang yung kinakailangan sa kanila, maaaring isa lang yung po pwedeng tumakbo po sa kanila.
Pwede po bang umupo ang kanyang kapatid bilang mayor sa kanilang baluarte habang siya ay Vice President?
Maaari pong tumakbo, Mr. Speaker, at posible rin po na matalo siya.
Umupo po, hindi tumakbo.
Pwede po. Maaari po siyang maupo. Tama po ba? Under po dito sa ating current draft, Mr. Speaker.
In other words, Mr. Speaker, kahit maging batas ang House Bill 8389, pwedeng maupo ng sabay-sabay ang Vice President, ang kanyang kapatid bilang congressman, ang kanyang pamangkin bilang iba pang congressman, ang kanyang pinsan bilang party list congressman, isa pang kapatid bilang mayor, at isa pang pamangkin bilang vice mayor. Ang tanong ko po, ano po ang silbi ng House Bill 8389 kung pwede pa rin sabay-sabay maupo ang isang buong angkan mula sa Vice President hanggang sa Vice Mayor.
Ang silbi po, Mr. Speaker, ng House Bill na ito ay napakahalaga. Unang-una, nabigyan na po natin ng actual na definasyon after 40 years kung ano po yung anti-political dynasty. Dahil lang pong una. Pangalawa, wala na pong konsentrasyon na nangyayari po ngayon ng isang locality na po pwedeng mag-asawa, magkapatid, anak, ama o lolo ang iisang nagsisirbisyo o nanunungkulan sa isang locality. Bawal na po yan. Pangatlo po, Mr. Speaker, ito po ay ginawa na study ng ating ito po ay ginawa ng ating ito po ay ginawa ng ating Congressional Planning Board para po makita kung bawat lahat ng proposal ng mga legislation kung tama po yung magiging tama po yung magiging effect niya on the ground. At ito po ay nakumpirma ng League of Municipalities of the Philippines. Automatic po ito, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Pag ito po ay naging sa batas, out of the 1,493 seats in all municipalities all over the country, 917 will be directly affected, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. So, yung malaki po ang kanyang diretsang epekto. Marami po ang hindi na po pwedeng makatakbo at maapektado at ma-diversify yung lahat ng offices po ng kanilang LGU. Ibig sabihin, maraming mga pamilya, organisasyon na po pwede na pong tumakbo at makilahok sa isang halalan, Mr. Speaker, pag ito po ay naisabatas. Ulitin ko po, 917 local government units out of the 1,493 will be directly affected. Kung mamarapatin po ng ating kagalang-galang na Dean, Congressman Diokno, gusto ko lang pong i-lay down sa inyo at babasahin ko po sa wikang Ingles kung mararapatin niyo po. 78 out of 149 mayors have officials with relatives up to the second degree of consanguinity or affinity in government. 52% of the city mayors have relatives holding government positions. Current version opens 36% of the total number of seats in cities. We're talking about the cities, but in the municipalities, 60+% ang mabibakante po because out of 1,453, 917 are directly affected. The political dynasty measures would open 5,613 out of 9,852 elective offices that currently share common and or last names. Ibig sabihin, 5,000 na bakante ang mababakante at open po sa mga qualified at gustong nananais magserbisyo. The Philippines has 4,239 political families and out of that, 185 provincial seats. For governors and vice governors have the same last name, middle name within their provinces, and 2,274 seats in local government, including provincial governments, Mr. Speaker, Your Honors, will be affected, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. 2,139 seats for mayors and vice mayors would be affected because they share the same last name and they are within, Mr. Speaker, our proposed second-degree civil prohibition, Mr. Speaker, Your Honors. So yun po ang magiging epekto. Malaki po itong epekto. It would actually 180 degrees turn around from the current setup that we have. It would open up, decongest, Mr. Speaker, control of certain political families within locality and allow others to come in. Now, the anti-political dynasty, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, is not, and I've said this many times over, it is not a standalone solution to all the electoral problems that we're facing every elections, Mr. Speaker. it has to be coupled with the strengthening of political system. We have to review the campaign finance, Mrs. Speaker, system that we have in this country. If we only allow others to participate and equally have the chance to win an election, Mrs. Speaker, over that of a family that enjoys a certain advantages in terms of resources, money in following, Mrs. Speaker, anti-political dynasty cannot and will never solve all of those problems. It has to be coupled with other electoral reform agenda. So the question again of the gentleman from the Akbayan Party List, yes, this is a very important piece of legislation. It has now defined, Mrs. Speaker, what the framers of the Constitution failed to resolve, Mrs. Speaker, and in this Congress, Mr. Day. Today, Mrs. Speaker, with the help of Congressman Diokno, we will finally provide legal definition to what constitutes anti-political dynasty after 40 years in its existence, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor.
Well, Madam Speaker, it's very good to hear your studies done on the impact of House Bill 8389 on the local positions. May I know, have you conducted a similar study on the impact of House Bill 8389 on political dynasties that lord it over our national scene?
Mr. Speaker,
Ilan pong mawawala kayang mga posisyon kung may sa batas ito?
well, Mr. Speaker, politics is all local. We know that, Mr. Speaker. There's no such thing as national politics. Everything is done in locally, in barangay, all the way to the up. When a certain political family weakens its grip, Mr. Speaker, over certain locality, it would definitely affect the preferential candidates in the national positions, Mr. Speaker. Although, again, that is my... Mr. Speaker, it will directly affect the current setup in the Senate right now. I would admit, Mr. Speaker, there are four sets of siblings serving under this current Congress, Mr. Speaker, and I do not want to mention their names. We all know who are they, Mr. Speaker, 4 sets of siblings. Once this bill would pass, and they're very much directly affected of this, because they're, within the second degree of consanguinity and affinity. So definitely there will be impact on the national level, Mr. Speaker. Apart from the one that I just explained to you, Mr. Speaker, it weakens the possible sources of votes, Mr. Speaker, from localities that has captive votes simply because of the control of one family over that locality. And it will weaken, possibly, Mr. Speaker, the votes that we will provide for a certain national candidate who are running for either president, vice president, or senators. But directly with this bill, Mr. Speaker, it would change 180 degrees the setup in the Senate, because we know that there are 4 sets of siblings currently now serving under the 20th Congress.
Thank you, distinguished sponsor. Since you mentioned the Senate, let's now move from President, Vice President to the Senate. Sabihin po natin na si Mr. ang Senador. Kung may sa batas itong House Bill 8389, pwede bang umupo ang kanyang asawa bilang kongresista? Alam po natin, hindi na siya pwedeng umupo bilang senador din dahil bawal ang dalawa. Pero pwede po siyang umupo bilang congresswoman habang siya ay senador?
Pwede pong tumakbo.
Umupo po.
Pwede po talaga ako tumakbo.
Manungkulan.
Pero yung pag-upo po kasi, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, pag paumanin niyo po ako, mayroon naman, may bumoboto po kasi, may possible na hindi naman po siya manalo. Halimbawa, tulad po, may kasamaan po tayo dito sa Kongreso, Mr. Speaker, and I'm citing you a concrete example. Dalawa ang anak niyang senador. Dati siyang senador. Tumakbo siyang kongresista at natalo. Natalo siya sa kanyang distrito. Yun po yung ibig ko sabihin na that's why I'm very careful, Mr. Speaker, with semantics, because there's a possibility. I do not want to give that impression that once a family member belong to a political family, runs for an office, automatically he or she wins or occupies that office. There's still a possibility that she might lose, because ultimately the people that decides and votes whether he or she is qualified. Example, Mr. Speaker, pasensya na po, pero kailangan ko po ata siyang mention dahil kaibigan ko naman po siya. Si Congressman Mark Anthony Santos, nanalo naman po siya bilang kongresista. At tumakbo po ang dating senador ng kanyang distrito na meron pong 2 anak sa Senado ngayon. Pero natalo po siya. That is exactly my point why, Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that may possibility na manalo at may possibility na hindi manalo. Pero po pwedeng tumakbo, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Next question, Mr. Speaker. Pwede bang umupo ang anak ng isang senador bilang kongresista? Umupo po, manungkulan ho, hindi po tumakbo. Manungkulan bilang kongresista habang siya ay senador?
Tama po, yes.
Pwede rin po bang maupo at manungkulan bilang mayor ang kanyang pamangkin habang siya ay senador?
Tama po, yes.
In other words, Mr. Speaker, kahit maging batas itong House Bill 8389, pwedeng sabay-sabay umupo ang senador, ang kanyang asawa bilang congressperson, ang kanyang anak bilang congressperson din, at kanyang pamangkin bilang mayor.
Tama po, Mr. Speaker, dahil hindi po yan ang gusto ng itong representasyon na ito. And certainly that is not what all of us want. That is what the Constitution dictates. And that is what the Constitution allows. That is why, Mr. Speaker, any preventive measures, because I consider this, Mr. Speaker, as a preventive proposal, a preventive measure, Mr. Speaker. It would restrict, Mr. Speaker, the general rule that all citizens, without any, if you're not convicted of certain crime, you can exercise your civic duty. And your civic duty is not only to vote, but also to present yourself and participate in electoral process, Mr. Speaker. Also the right to be voted upon. And that's the general principle. That's the general norm. And that's what the Constitution says. It has a qualifying factor attached to that provision, Mr. Speaker, in which is to prohibit political dynasty. And I've explained as much as possible, Mr. Speaker, the way I want to balance it out, that any restriction should be reasonable and should not be unconstitutional and should not be discriminatory for that matter, Mr. Speaker. If we disallow a certain family simply because they share the same family, to preclude altogether and forever once they're within the second degree of consanguinity, that is tantamount to undue disqualification, even if they have not done anything wrong against election or any electoral process or any criminal acts that they may have committed in the future, Mr. Speaker. That to me is a discrimination which is very much enunciated under the international civic and political rights, which the country is also a signatory to that.
So halimbawa, Mr. Speaker, may isang political family at alam nila na sa ilalim nitong House Bill 8389, hindi na sila pwedeng sabay-sabay umupo bilang senador, let's say, magkapatid. Hindi rin pala sila pwedeng sabay na may Pangulo at may Vice President o kaya Pangulo or Vice President at Senador. What is to stop them from deciding na yung isang kapatid nila ay maging congressperson na lang, o di kaya governor, o di kaya mayor or vice mayor?
Alam niyo po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, kaya nga po pinopropose natin sana na pagkatapos ng anti-political dynasty, kailangan po mayroon tayo pong measure to strengthen political parties in the Philippines. Dahil napapansin po natin ngayon, Mr. Speaker, pagkatapos po ng isang ni Mayor, minsan wala na pong convention at hindi na po nagde-decide ang party. Ang nagiging successor po niya ay ang kanyang anak. Dahil wala na ba po talagang actual convention ang partido. Hindi sa ibang bansa na ang nagde-decide ng kanilang nominee ay yung kanilang partido. Dito po sa Pilipinas, wala po tayong ganon. Although meron pong mga political system at mga political party members, pero yung actual na pag-select kung sino yung nararapat na tumakbo ay minsan ay nasa desisyon po ng per family. Kaya sabi ko nga po, hindi lang ho itong anti-political dynasty ang solusyon. Dapat po ay may coupled with other electoral reform agenda. Tulad halimbawa po, itong sinasabi nating tatakbo si anak ni senador ng mayor, may undue advantage siya because resources-wise, malaki ang kanya. Dahil following, malaki ang mga kanyang mga kasama. Dahil in terms of pera, malaki ang kanya. So kailangan nating i-reviewin, Mr. Speaker, yung campaign financing na inaalaw po ng ating batas para magkaroon ng leveling ng pagkakataon na yung wala masyadong resources ay makakumpit doon sa mga kandidato na alam ng pamilya, kilala ng pamilya at may mga resource and due advantage because of the resources and connection to government institution, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Isa din yan. Political reform, political act, Mr. Speaker, strengthening our political system. Sa ngayon po, Mr. Speaker, dati, kung natatandaan po ng ating kagagalang na representante, nung kapanahunan po ng kanyang ama bilang senador, yung yumaong Jose Diokno, na isa po yan sa pinagmamalaki po ng Pilipinas, na hindi lang po siya champion ng human rights, ito po siyang statesman at par excellence. Nung panahunan po niya, dalawa lang po yung political system sa Pilipinas. Ang namimili po ay ang political party. Nagkakaroon po sila ng convention. So hindi nangangailangan na anak ka ng isang senador ay automatic ikaw ng magiging gobernador. Ang simpleng teacher, ang simpleng policeman, ang simpleng estudyante, ang simpleng mamamayan ay pwedeng maging miyembro ng Nationalista Party, pwedeng maging miyembro ng Liberal Party at nagkakaroon sila ng convention at sila bumoboto. Kung sino yung pinaka-qualified, yun po ang makakakuha ng certification of acceptance and nomination para ibigay po sa COMELEC na sila po yung kandidato ng partidong ito. So ang tanong, ang pamilya ba ang pumipili ng kandidato kung sinong tatakbo pag natapos si Mayor? Ang tatakbo ba ang kanyang anak? Hindi po ang pamilya. Technically and legally, ang pumipili po ay ang partido dahil ang kandidato na anak ni Mayor, na si Mayor ay graduate na, ay ang nagbibigay po sa kanya ng Certificate of Acceptance and Nomination para tumakbo doon sa posisyon na yon ay ang partidong kinabibilangan pinakinabibilangan niya. So to give you po the straight answer, hindi po ang pamilya ang nag-decide. Pero may impluensya po ang pamilya because of the weak political system that we have in this country right now, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So far po, Mr. Speaker, distinguished sponsor, mga tanong ko ay nakatukoy doon sa sabay-sabay na panunungkulan ng iba't ibang mga miyembro ng isang pamilya. Ngayon po, ay may tanong ko lang po, ito bang restriction ng second degree of consanguinity and affinity ay mag-a-apply po ba yan sa successive holding of the same position? For example, senador, ang susunod, ang papalit ay kapatid, o kaya governor, ang susunod ay asawa, etc. Covered po ba yun ng House Bill 8389?
Yung kanina pong katanungan, parehas po sila ng aking kagalang-galang. Ang katanungan po ni the good minority leader, kung inaalaw po natin yung posibleng na makatakbo within the second degree of consanguinity. Yes po, posible po yon.
Pwede.
Tama po.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think I've heard enough. I would like to thank the distinguished sponsor. Ang mga tanong ko po kanina ay base sa tatlong pinaka-big time na mga political dynasty sa ating bansa. Hindi ko na sila pangangalangan, pero palagay ko alam na natin lahat kung sino sila. The Constitution commands Congress to enact an anti-political dynasty bill law. A law that will put an end to political dynasties. Unfortunately, of course, with due respect to the sponsor, House Bill 8389 will not put an end to dynasties. It will only allow them to maintain, and not just maintain, but to expand their hold on power. Kahit po maging batas itong panukala, tuloy pa rin ang ligaya ng mga political dynasty. Ika nga ng isang kanta na written by Rom Dongeto and performed by Buklod and later by Noel Cabangon. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, hindi matatapos itong gulo. Thank you, distinguished sponsor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Maraming salamat, Dean, Atty.
Maraming pong salamat kay Congressman Diokno.
To grants po, Mr. Sponsor. Majority Leader.